I do want to ask you about Rey Fenix because a pretty well-known person in wrestling, I won't say their name, texted me after the Pentagon debut, and it just said, "I feel bad for Rey Fenix," and I put the ha on it, thinking he was referencing whatever's going on right now with Phoenix and AEW. I don't pretend to know all the details, but certainly looks like, based on the reports we've heard, he's just not going to be used. So he's on the sidelines. But I thought, why is that such a bad thing? But this person is a professional wrestler. And when I was asking, hey, can you expand on what you mean? He was immediate with, they're going to treat Penta like the second coming of Rey Mysterio, the new Rey Mysterio. And there won't be room for a third Rey Mysterio a year from now. Ray's going to miss out on this meteoric rise that Penta's going to enjoy. And then on commentary, I'll be damned. That is exactly what Michael Cole was hammering over and over and over. The second most famous luchador, the second most important luchador, only behind Rey Mysterio. They even interviewed Rey Mysterio after the fact. I wanted to get your take on that. Do you think that, because at first I thought, man, what's the big deal? Ray's getting to sit at home and getting paid, and he'll be fresh and healthy, and he'll be all right. I never considered from a wrestler perspective, hey, man, timing is everything, and he's going to miss the timing here. That didn't even really click for me, that Penta is about to be the new Rey Mysterio. What do you think of that?
There's a lot of crackers in that box, Conrad, so let's take them out one at a time and devour them. I'll probably go backwards and have to ask you to repeat a couple of them. You've heard, we've talked about this before, and I think recently, within the last couple of shows, I made the comment that there's two ways to kill somebody off in the wrestling business: overexpose them and underexpose them. And the mistake I think that the average person, a fan, whether you're a hardcore fan or a casual fan, which is probably 95% of the fan base, it would seem like, wait a minute, let's just say he's making $500,000 a year. I don't know what he's making. Doesn't matter. It's a lot. Whatever it is, it's a lot. To the average person, the average fan who's watching, it's a shit ton of money coming in every 2 weeks. And yeah, you could stay home and play video games, cash that check. That would seem to most people like not such a bad deal. But most people don't realize that the longer you're out of the limelight, the more daylight your star sees, meaning nobody sees it because it's daytime. You might as well be in a closet or in a witness protection program. That's not good for your character. Neither is that much time out of the ring, which means you probably, and again, I'm not speaking from a wrestler's perspective. I'm speaking from someone outside of the business that did business with wrestlers and have had these types of conversations before with guys at a very, very high level that knew what the hell they were talking about. So sitting home and doing nothing, even if you prefer not to have a lot of pressure on your time and in your schedule, you realize pretty early on that this is a dead end street because that contract will come up at some point, and they clearly have no value, see no value in you other than getting you off the market and giving you a lot of money. That's not a good thing if you want to survive past that gravy train. And that takes a while to set in, but it does. And you're not developing. You're not getting any better. You're not out there with some of the other best in breed performers that challenge you and help you get better and help you create new things. So sitting home is not such a wonderful thing. What was the other part of your question?
Well, I just wanted to know, do you think that perhaps, in an entertainment world and, well, almost every aspect of business, timing is everything. Is Ray missing his moment? Is Penta going to become...
Oh, no, that's cool. That was the best part of your question, and I'm sorry, because that's the fun part. As you were describing that to me, the front part of the last question, I'm thinking, and maybe this is a version of, a podcaster's half glass full, half glass empty. But as you were explaining to me the commentary from Cole, very briefly, I'm thinking, oh, they see him coming, and we're creating some stakes. Right off the bat. Phoenix shows up. What's his issue? He's not the second best wrestler behind, or luchador behind Rey Mysterio. I am. Now, I'm not saying that's a good idea, but right off the bat, there's something to work with. So, and that's why I don't, the half glass empty version of this is exactly what you said. Oh boy, I had my shot. Didn't work out for me. Somebody else got it. Might as well take this money from AEW. I guess that's a move. It's a bad one. And I don't think it's going to be necessary. I would be surprised if we don't see Phoenix in WWE. And it may take a while. It's like it took Penta a while. But I think he's going to end up there. And I think he's going to have an opportunity to tell a great story with Penta, whatever that may be. There's a great story to be told with two really, really amazing performers in an ever-growing segment of the overall professional wrestling audience.
Thinking about longevity here for a minute, Eric, I don't pretend to know everything about wrestling, so I'm picking your brain. I want to ask the Hall of Famer. I want to ask the expert.
Oh, you're blowing my cover to just blowing the shit right up now.
If they would have come in as a tag team, it feels like most tag teams, especially brother tag teams, have a similar story arc in wrestling. They debut as the new hot tag team. They enjoy some success for a period of time, multiple years usually. Then we start a tease of a breakup. Maybe we actually eventually go through with it. It's brother versus brother. Later they get back together. That's a pretty, but I'm just saying in a normal circumstance, I do think they would have probably debuted together and as a tag team. In a weird way, the person who benefits the most from Rey Fenix not being released from his AEW contract and having that AEW contract rolled over, the person who will benefit the most is Penta. Isn't that interesting? Because he's going to debut now, not as a tag star. He's right into, as you said, a Marvel type welcome. He's a single star day one.
And he's cutting promos.
Yeah. In Spanish.
And that right there is a part of this whole picture. I mean, so many, I was excited for his family at ringside. That was the part.
God, how could you not be?
Right. The rest of it, not to diminish the pageantry of it all and how well it was executed and all that, but kind of seen that before, different degrees. But that raw emotion, that real, honest to goodness, real emotion that was created live and ended up in my heart and got me excited and brought a tear to my eye is what made that so special. It really is. But here's another maybe perspective on what you just said. I think they both benefit. Number one, I know Phoenix is going to, I don't know. I believe he's going to end up there in WWE, probably in less time than we think. Perhaps. I don't know. But at this point, they're both going to be debuting as single stars. They each individually will have the focus. Will probably have some, I would imagine, right? When the time comes, however it goes down, there will be advance warning. And you're going to get another version of the Marvel mini movie promotion that we saw with Penta. That'd be my guess. I don't know shit. But God, it just seems so obvious. And if I'm right, and you know how often I'm right? It's a lot.
All the time.
Fucking 97, it's 0.46, whatever. It's a lot. Hardly ever wrong about this stuff when I say I predict. But I predict he's going to be there. I predict he's going to get his big of an arrival party. And I think there's going to be instant story there, and it's going to be a good thing.